What's going on, everybody? Your boy is back this time with the video on the Chevelle, and man, it's been a minute since I made a video on the Chevelle, but I've been making major progress on it. And I just want to take you guys kind of through what I've been doing and show you guys kind of what's up, because I've been kind of working on it periodically in between the holidays and work and shopping and things like that, just getting ready for Christmas. But my goal is to get this done. Hopefully by this weekend I'll have it pretty much buttoned up. So let me flip this camera around, y'all, so I can kind of show you what's been going on with the build. All right, so here we go. As you see, this is my list that I've been making. I'm pretty much down to the nitty gritty and getting down towards the end of getting it all done. So first up, let's see here. So as you guys already know, I got the belt on. This belt ended up taking a 69.5-inch belt. Got that tensioner from ICT Billet, so that ended up correcting the issue with the spacing. It's still tight. You guys can see it there. It's still tight, but it's not rubbing. That's probably about how close it is on my Caprice, so I'll take it. And it's already been rubbing before previously from whoever owned it before me, and so excuse me, so I'm just gonna have to rock with it and deal with it. What else has been going down? So got the radiator installed. This is a big block radiator from the previous owner. Gave it to me. I filled it up. I haven't seen any leaks yet, so we shall see. I think this side is full, but because the motor hasn't been running, hasn't been able to fill that side, because I filled, and this is another thing I did, I filled the engine with coolant already. So I took this hose off and filled it through the thermostat. That way it gets into the block and everything. So that's the way you want to fill these engines, because if you fill it through the radiator, only so much coolant is gonna get in, and it's not gonna be able to fill in through the thermostat and through that end of the water pump. So you want to fill it through the block first, so that way when the car starts, it doesn't have to like cycle through and have the coolant get all the way through the motor. And plus, by that time the engine's gonna get hot, and you definitely don't want the engine to overheat on your first startup. So got that done. What else have I done? Put a filter on the back here. Did that there. I'll probably block off this part here, and then I'll put another filter here that I have on order. So same filter that I have in my Caprice. It's a billet little extension, and then a filter on top. So have that going there. Oh, I had to move over the fuel pressure regulator over. As you can see, there's a hole right there, so I'll probably just fill that in with another screw. And I installed my low car transmission dipstick, so I had to move that over in order to keep that there. And I didn't really want to move this all the way over to the other side, so I just moved it slightly over, and that way I still have my transmission dipstick there. Brake booster and master cylinder fit like a glove, y'all. That was actually kind of not stressing me out, but giving me just a little bit of worry, just because I wasn't sure if that was going to work. And again, that booster was given to me, so I hope that it worked. I just cleaned it up, and it actually ended up working great. The pedal actually had two holes for the little shaft, so one for the regular one and then one right below it, and I didn't know that until I actually hooked it up. And I hooked up that little shaft right on the lower part of the pedal and didn't even realize it, and it ended up working out perfectly. So that's how I knew it had two holes. So I guess it has an upper and a lower, so one that goes straight out and in if you hooked up this master cylinder straight to the firewall, because the shaft is going to have to go straight. And as you can see, this is actually tilted up a little bit, so I have the brackets that kind of tilted up, and that's why it has the lower hole on the pedal. So that way that shaft, instead of sitting flush like this, it sits like that, so it has that lower hole. So the shaft is where that hooks up to the pedal, so that way the pedal can push that rod or shaft through and through the booster and through the master cylinder. That way the car can stop and apply pressure to the brake. So anyways, got that in. I had this master cylinder already, and I was able to make this check valve that I already had work. So that worked. So all I got to do is just hook it up to the manifold and be good to go there. I have to send that in to get powder coated. That's something that I forgot to take in. So I get that powder coated. I'm gonna powder coat it Chevy orange, just like this here. Man, what else have I been doing? Oh, I still have to make I'm gonna make a bigger ground and connect that from the frame to the engine block. So I'm gonna leave this one here and just put another ground to it, connect that there. What else? What's on my list? So I still gotta finish the battery wires, fill it up with transmission fluid, bleed the brakes, put in some new wheel studs in the rear, bigger ground, already attacked that. Oh, I gotta put a vacuum line from the transmission to the manifold, because that's how it kicks down. It doesn't have a kick down table, it just goes through that modulator that hooks up to the transmission, and you hook a line up to the manifold. Still got to do the fans, filter, power steering fluid, make brackets for the radiator, and I just put plug valve to remind me I have to do something. So what else have I done, y'all? I have and I don't know if you guys can see, let me grab my flashlight. So I was able to kind of temporarily route a lot of these wires in here. And sorry for the darkness, but that thick wire right there, that red one, that is my 1/0 battery cable wire that's running all the way from my battery all the way to the starter. And I had to drill another hole in the floor. You can barely see it, but I had to drill another hole in the floor. I didn't want to do that, but I had to do it if I wanted to put the battery in the back. But I like it though. It makes for a cleaner look, and I'm kind of temporarily routing these wires all along here and going out to the back. So let me take you back to the back of the trunk. All right, so here we go. So this is how I have my battery mounted back here. Red top Optimum battery. I got this battery relocation kit from a guy who gave it to me for free. So that ended up working out. I have my markings here to where I need to cut it. That way the wire kind of feeds through here, and then I can tie it in directly to there. So this is my positive, and this is my negative wire. So this is actually a red in color positive wire, but I'm going to use it as a ground, so that's why I left this little covering on it. So that's going to be my ground, and I have my ground attached to the frame right there. So hopefully that's a sufficient enough ground, and that'll work good. Got my wires here from the PCM. This is from my computer that has to go directly to the battery. And what else? I think that's pretty much it, y'all. So I'm gonna cut these all threads down. I just have them in there for now, but I'm gonna cut those down. And man, we making waves, y'all. We making waves. So let me flip this camera around here real quick. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. We getting down to the good stuff here. Oh, and I gotta do one more thing as well. I have to extend my power wire that originally on this harness went to the distributor, but what that does is it supplies power, I believe, to the harness and everything inside the car. So I have to hook that up and extend that wire to the alternator. I'm just gonna run it straight to the alternator, because the alternator wire I have that running straight to the starter, and that way it gets its power directly from the battery, because the battery from the wire from the battery is going to the starter anyway. And so I have a thicker wire, and that's another thing that I forgot to mention. I have a thicker wire coming from the alternator directly to the battery, which is also tied in with the starter. So I'm going to extend that wire from the harness and run it directly to the alternator. That way it can get its power that way. So other than that, I tied in, this is another thing I did, I tied in this here. So this brown wire here actually goes to the dummy light to the dash. So I'm not exactly sure if it needs to be hooked up, but I think that it might, in order to be able to excite the alternator. So that's why I hooked it up there. So again, you have a brown wire that comes directly from your harness, and you just follow your schematic. If you have a wiring diagram, you should pick one up, and that goes directly to the generator light that's on like the old school dash. Also finished hooking up the terminal and put a little connector on there for the purple wire that comes from the harness to the starter. And again, just got to reconnect and extend the red distributor wire on the old harness that's going to go directly to the alternator. So other than that, y'all, we good, man. We good. We making waves. I was already able to also bench bleed the master cylinder, so that's good to go. And as soon as this weekend, I believe me and my girl are going to bleed the brakes. And shoot, man, this thing might be on its first test ride as far as backing it in and out the driveway. That is my goal this weekend. Will this thing actually move on its own, and will you guys see this thing actually back out the driveway and move on its own? So stay tuned for more, y'all. This thing is coming to not to an end but a beginning, but it's actually coming to an end on its first stages here before I actually take it to the shop. So anyways, y'all, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the build so far, my progress, what you guys think. Anything should be added at whatever, just let me know. And get in the comment section. Like this video, y'all. Again, I'm asking for likes. Continue to like, support, man, because we making waves. But this car, Georgia, the new Escalade to the channel, and man, it's going down. So you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, y'all. Deuces. Peace out.